I started because it's another art form that I just figured that I needed to grasp. I'm not always happy with one subject with art. I may be happy with one piece every once in a while. Like I'll do some panels for like comics, and then I'll stop right there, and then like I don't like it at that time, so therefore I just push to a new subject, not necessarily pushing it away. It's just, for me, my brain is scrambled basically, and doing art-related things such as photography, making music, creating comics, illustrating, it unscrambles my brain in this sense for me. So that is one of the reasons why I went into photography. I've noticed a lot, actually, especially when it comes to even within comics and illustrations. The simple thirds rule helps a lot, and it's just something that I just never pictured. I mean, I get most of my photography is based on my illustrations already to begin with. The shadows are very rich and dark. I mean, they're like basically black, and it makes it almost how I draw, as well as like I get that influence from like Mike Mignola's work. Mike Mignola created the Hellboy comic series, and his line art is very thin, but then when it comes to his shading, it's just blocks of black that create this sense of shading. It's very in-depth, and that's what I like to do with photography, is just slide that shadow all the way up and not make it look bad. So art really takes my edge off. In most senses, it actually doesn't help like anxiety at all. It really embraces my creativity, which in a sense overall helps my depression.
The reason why I want to choose photography as my profession is because I think it's very beneficial, and I think it's very liberating to people in so many different ways. One of my favorite things about photography is that when you go to work, you know that you're going to have a good day because you get to make people feel so good about themselves, and what is better than that? And with photography, what I've noticed by being on the other side of the camera is that the photographer plays a huge role in making sure you're in the right mindset so that you can rock at your photo shoots. When I got professional photos done of myself, at first I was really nervous and very much in my head. I was nervous about how the pictures were going to turn out. But when I got there and I met the photographer, they gave me such a boost of confidence that I was able to take really good pictures, and I was able to get out of my head, just feel like the person I was inside. They were able to project that in the photos with the confidence that they gave me during that photo shoot. The reason why I want to be a photographer and why I choose it as my profession is because I think it's very beneficial and liberating to people in so many different ways. When you go to work as a photographer, you get to know that you're going to make somebody's day, you're going to make them feel good about themselves, and it's going to make you feel good. Photography is my choice of profession because I always want to make people feel really good and really happy and feel good about themselves, because I like to feel like that too. And what better way than with every photo shoot, knowing that you get to make somebody feel the best they can feel about themselves. When I was on the other side of the camera before, I got professional photos done of myself, and at first I was very much in my head, and I was nervous. I didn't know how they were going to turn out. I felt very self-conscious, and I let that get to me, but as the photo shoot progressed, because of the attitude of the photographer, I was able to get out of my head, and I was able to feel confident, and that was able to show in the photos. Things that might not seem like the perfect subject of photography might just be the most cool, unexpected, and unusual of outcomes, which is cool. You don't just have to photograph people, you can photograph anything, which is the beauty of it. Once you take a picture, that's just the beginning. with all the editing programs that are available, you can take that picture and turn it into anything your heart desires. It could be anything, it could be many things, or it could be just left as it is in the raw.
I started out at a young age, and my sister is a photographer, and I grew up with my mom always taking pictures with a disposable camera, and that's kind of how I got introduced to photography. I finally got really into photography once my aunt gave me a very, very nice camera to use for a couple summers, and once I got the hang of that, I realized that's what I wanted to do. And when I started taking portraits, which has been recently, I realized I am making people feel good about themselves when I'm taking their portraits or taking pictures of them in general. I'm new to portraits, so I haven't had too much of an experience of getting the feedback that I've been wanting from people when I'm taking their photos. But taking nature photography, I have been noticing a lot more that happens within nature, like the micro aspects, moss and insects and spiders, where you wouldn't normally see them, or where certain things in nature catch your eye as a photographer that you wouldn't see if you were just a normal person. And portrait photography, you try to make people feel good about themselves and have them see what you see in them. You make them feel beautiful and worthy of themselves. And when you do that, it just makes your whole self-esteem go up. When I start taking pictures of people and even nature, my anxiety just completely goes away. I know exactly what to do. I'm fully confident of what I am doing, and I know for sure what I'm doing is what I need to be doing. It makes me feel good, and it makes the person I'm taking pictures of feel good, and it shows others what I see in nature and what they don't see.